Hello, 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 hello. Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't hear those voices calling. I already had my piece of gum for today. All right. What are we doing today? I had a new idea, actually. I wanted to try to put up some kind of display here to show what we're working on. And I wonder, where's the, oh, I bet I can just add a source. Is that my homeboy? Hey, hey. I can. How you doing, man? Can they hear you? Let's see. I think, oh, you know what? Hold on. I always got to change the sound to go to meet and monitor. Try now.
Testing.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
They should be able to hear you.
Oh, you're live right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice.
You're coming in hot.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. And then I need to change the layout. Just got to do like, I got to figure out how to automate this, man. Because I'm always having to spotlight. Nope, not spotlight. Wait, spotlight, because then I should be able to change layout, sidebar, auto. Sidebar? Nope, it should be spotlight. And then I should minimize myself. Okay. And then I have to is it this one? Oh yeah. Done. Show. All right. Got you in here. Let's see. Unlock. Move you around a little bit. And full screen. How do I like full screen this? Something like that. Oh, it's not going to show you. It's kind of weird depending on the full screen option. Tries to do some kind of like optimization and it doesn't actually show you sometimes. Oops. Come on. Is that going to keep you there? Nope, that doesn't do it either. All right. I'm just going to have to like do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do like that. If you can zoom your camera in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I can change the framing.
I'm going to put you off to the, oh, there we go. Better. All right, cool. I'll blow this up a little bit. Do that. Oh, I got to share my screen with you too, don't I? Let's see.
Yeah.
Share entire screen there. Okay, that's where I have to go back to change layout, spotlight, and then how do I show my screen anyway? Change layout, tiled, sidebar. Okay, but how do I spotlight you? Pin. Don't show this again. Pin the tile. So I have to pin you first, and then I have to do the spotlight.
It's a lot of work.
No, that still didn't work. Auto. It is a lot of work. I'm not sure. Show full video. Stop annotating. Unpin. There we go. Okay. Back to here. All right. Now you're smaller. Try to make you a little bigger. That's all right. Nobody. Stream seems to always start slow anyway. Dude, I do not want to. I'm like done for today. I don't want to work anymore. I'm like, I actually started.
Perfect time.
I know. I actually started coding. Honestly, it was kind of an accountability thing because I started coding probably about 9 this morning. It's 2 o'clock now, so 3-4 hours of straight coding and stuff. And sun shines out. I've been going on my skateboard recently. My son has his bike, and I have a skateboard that has like longboard wheels on it, so the wheels are like really thick and they ride pretty smooth on, dirt, not like full on dirt, but just like sidewalks that have dirt and rocks on them and stuff. So he and I have been hitting this trail recently. That's all I want to do right now.
That sounds fun.
That's all I want to do right now.
Do you get him to pull you?
No, actually the last couple times we went out, this kid, man, I don't remember being a 10-year-old, but he'll go out like barefoot on his bike. He's got this like mountain bike with thick wheels, and he goes out riding like the grippy pedals with his bare feet. So as I'm pushing the board, like there's a lot of times I'll be going faster than him. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, wear some real shoes, and then you can beat me out here.
I miss those days. Just go out bike riding and wandering around.
Yeah, man. Yep. I know. So anyway, I didn't want to code, so I thought, well, I should get on the stream, have some accountability, and try to just keep doing the next thing here.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it. What do you...
Yeah, actually, there was one other thing I was going to do. So let's pull my task board over here. I did a couple things this morning. Yeah, that was a doozy. Filtering on skills. Had a date time bug. I hate date time bugs, man.
Oh, yeah.
Figured that out for the most part. And now this next thing is going to be kind of interesting. So I got to do this podium integration. So right now, the app is using Twilio, and it's actually using Twilio through my N8N setup. I think I've showed that before, but let's see. Workflows, just for funsies here. Let's see if I can pull this up right quick. Oh man, I hate it when it does this. I did try some spec-driven design yesterday and a little bit today, and it did not work. And then I adjusted my approach, and I got a little bit to work. Which I'm going to try to do the same thing with this podium stuff that we're about to do, so we can see how that works.
Okay.
Where is N8N? There it is. Grab that, come over here, do a new one.
Podium.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, man. Interesting in the sense of just thinking about how different niche industries use different tools, right? It's like if you're solving a generic problem, or not even a generic problem, I would say, but if you're building a brand new service that doesn't have an established like domain and use cases, like you're going to reach for something generic like Twilio, and then you figure over time as your service gets bigger and better and more specific and all this kind of stuff, more optimized, you go for these other niche services. So Podium is basically like it offers a Twilio-like service. By the way, there's 2 podiums. Super confusing. So there's Podium, which is hello.podium.page. That's for like podcasting. That's completely different than podium.com, or in my case, app.podium.com, because I have an account in here. I should probably be careful with that. But this is, let's see. So this one is for auto services, aesthetics, wellness, home services. That's the industry we're in, retail or other. I just want to close this. But they have, of course, an AI employee. Everybody does. Get leads, convert leads, review management. So like Google reviews and stuff.
Nice.
Surveys, they do surveys. And then apparently they have this whole texting platform, right? Because they're kind of about that customer service thing, right? So they have phone numbers that you can do all your like customer calls through. But they also do texting apparently. I've never used it. I don't know how it compares to Twilio. I don't know how easy or hard it is. So that there's going to be a lot of just exploration of what this thing is today. But what I was going to show real quick is Pushkar, my boy. Let's see here. AI text response. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I guess it's this one. Yeah, so right now it's just super duper basic every time. So I did the first build of this in N8N. Every time an event gets booked, we send a Twilio SMS message here. And one of the reasons why this is kind of important, like I might fall back to use Twilio if I can't figure Podium out, or if Podium doesn't give me what I want. But what the client wants to do is, actually I have it in my Miro board. Let's head back over here. So we got to send one text message that says you're confirmed for your date. Tell them that we're going to send them the meeting link or the consultation link 5 minutes beforehand. And then, where is it? For questions or to reschedule, call or text. So the important thing, the ideal situation is that I am texting the client, from this number. Because if I do this in Podium, which is what the client's already using, if I send this message from Podium, then the client can just text back, right? For questions or reschedule, call or text. I can say, try to do this here. This number. Okay, so ideally, we're doing the second sentence here. It's not a separate number. I think, if I recall right, I'll have to explore this a little bit. Sorry, I got distracted. Pushkar says, man, he's grinding as a solopreneur now. Surprised to see he's actually getting results. Are you talking about me, Pushkar? Or are you talking about somebody else? What results am I getting? Where's the results? Where's the money? Follow what he does just to learn about it. I mean, why not? Okay, he must be talking about me. Are you texting a friend and you're accidentally putting it on the stream, Pushkar? That would be funny. Hey, Black Arc is back. Good to see you, man. Yeah, so texting from Podium, hoping to get this back, like on this number. If I can't do that, if I'm stuck with Twilio, it'll be kind of an awkward experience because you're going to get a text message from a short phone number in Twilio, and then you have to text a different line to reschedule or whatever. Anyways, yeah, that's the reason why we want to use Podium. And then if we can, and then of course later on we'll send a second text message. So none of this, I have Twilio set up through N8N, like I said before. I don't have Twilio or Podium or anything set up inside of my app here. So that's what we're going to work on. And to that end, I wanted to see if I could do So in the stream, because like when people are joining, they don't necessarily know where I am in the process, you know? So I was going to try to throw up a quick... where is it?
So like a public Miro link? That would be...
That's actually not a bad idea. No, I was thinking... Okay, so excuse the music for a second. This right here. Okay, back to presentation. Paste, duplicate. Okay. What is this? So I'm just going to say... integrating Podium for texting.
I like the be back soon message.
Done. You like that? Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, what the blazes? Hold on, I broke something. What is going on here? I totally broke this thing.
That's why.
Why can't you see that? Read from file. Don't read from file. Sorry guys, hold on. Trying to... I should have done this before I got the stream set up here. Use Google font. I don't know, man. Just do this thing. Transform. Can I just like fit to screen here? Fit to screen. I don't know. It's probably like not helpful at all. No, it looks terrible. All right, I'm trashing it. Yep, trashing it. All right. Oh man, you can't really read that text over there, can you? All right, enough distractions. So, Podium. Let me go back to my task board, just make sure. Podium integration. Should notify when the meeting's booked. Should notify the customer 1 minute before the meeting starts. Yada, yada. So actually the first thing I need to do is I was working on a branch here separately, feature use skills. I am going to branch. This is going to be messy. We're going to do some Git gymnastics here because I was working on a previous feature branch. I got to move to a new one. And I'm just going to actually say explore Podium. And then actually, I was messing around with Podium earlier in the day when I was trying to do the spec-driven development that like didn't work out, so I ended up sort of abandoning it. But there is one or two things that I want to pull in from that. So, or should I just start fresh? You know what? Hold on, let me see. I might just start fresh here. Yeah. I'm just gonna start fresh because all that earlier was not really useful. Okay. So one cool thing that I was doing before, ServiceTitan, I could not find a public API with ServiceTitan. I was able to get on their website, and they were on their like developer site. They were giving me basically the Postman equivalent. I think it's an open API spec here. It's all in YAML. It's not in JSON, but it is an open API spec, and I was able to import it into my Postman. But I was also able to just stick it in my code base. And the reason for this is because it made it a lot easier for me to just highlight a section and say, go implement the API call to call this endpoint. And because the, cursor agent had access to the spec file and my code, it was able to go write some of that pretty quickly. So we're going to try the same thing with Podium here. And see if I can log in. So I was in app.podium earlier. And I believe, is this the one? I think I got to sign in with my developer account here. Should be this one here. Get the password. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, is this maybe my Gemini one? Oh, it is. Okay, Gemini email. Gotta keep that straight. Text message. Website link, I'm not allowed to in the stream. Yeah, probably not. Podium, see what's new. Don't send us your OnlyFans, Pushkar. I do not want to see what's new. I want to close you. Let's see. So, okay, that's right. That's right. You know what? This is one of the issues earlier is that where'd my email go? Do I have it in here? Podium API. Here we go. Docs.podium. Okay. So that's right. That's right. So actually, I haven't gone through this authentication process yet. So some of this is just going to be some setup here. We're going to have to get to the boring stuff for a second. But one thing, if you go to guides, they have a Postman collection. I think this is all I want to show you guys. They do have a Postman collection. And so what I was able to do, go ahead and close this, is I downloaded the Postman collection, which I already have it here locally. And so I'm just going to drop it into my code base here under resources. And I'm going to do some of the same thing that I did earlier. So in here, they have a way to do text messages. Send message, probably. Send. Okay, send message through a campaign. Looks like they have some examples in here. I guess I'll pull this up in Postman since it'll be easier. In town settings. Did I not import it? I guess I didn't. Okay, let's import it. Postman import. Here it is. Podium API version 4. Got some webhooks. Probably can't see that very well. Messenger, send a message. I don't know anything about this. Headers, body. Just a reminder, your appointment is today. Contact name, sender name, subject, channel, identifier, location UID. There's no like phone number in here. So maybe you have to add the person as a contact first or something. Authorization, OAuth 2, available tokens, bearer token. Scripts, they have a send request script, Postman Echo get, okay. Nothing at the top level except for the base URL. Developer tools, getting started. Request access to the developer portal. I did do that. Is where you will create the OAuth applications, get app credentials that will allow you to make successful HTTP requests to Podium API. I won't be here if I had an OnlyFans. Developer account application. In order to develop Podium applications, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so developer.podium.com. I guess I'm not there yet, huh? Developer login. So I think this is where I did developer.intown plumbing. Let's see. And then let's go grab the password. Okay, I agree. Okay, here we go. Never. This is looking better, so let's bookmark this. Developer portal done. Dashboard, create app, follow the steps. Dashboard. Let's build an app. Test things out. Test accounts will let you kick the tires. Create a test account to explore APIs, features, and test your application and preview functionality before publishing. Yes, I want a test account. We take security seriously. Enter your name so we know who you are. Dan Villa. Just one location. They didn't say anything about doing a test account, did they? So I guess you create an app first. App scopes and credentials. App scopes and credentials. Request test organization and location access. Test account. Cool. Okay. Create an app. App title here. What do we call it?
Demo.
Demo. Boring. Give me a new one. The dark crystal app. I don't know. It's probably a real app though, right? So I should probably say. I mean, I guess it's just
Podium test app.
Podium.
No, my naming is always the hardest thing.
Naming is hard. In town. I don't know. In town app. Even more boring than the first one you gave me. Application name, in town app. Keep it simple. Okay, thanks. I did. Application name, resources. So let's go back here. Once your app has been created, select OAuth option on the side menu to set up your icon. App icon. Ew. What icon should we do?
A toilet.
A toilet. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's see. I think I have. Nope. Come back. Pics. Okay. Can I not? Oh, I can't like drag or whatever. Dude, I can't even move this window either. It's kind of annoying. All right, hold on. Gonna drop
So for our
this.
audience, what are the main advantages of using Podium that or features? It's scheduling, text message, authentication. Is that?
I don't even know, to be honest. I mean, I think you could get on. Actually, I'd be curious. Maybe you should ask that question to ChatGPT. Like, for me, like Podium is what my client is using, right?
Okay.
And you know, here's another. What do they used to call those things? Reality check, right? Reality check, everyone. You know, we're all out there building test apps, and we're all doing like the same basic easy stuff, right? The reality is that you're going to go work for a client at some point, and they're going to already have a system like Podium that they're already using. Your job is to integrate with that system. As much as you may love Twilio, and you've done a ton of Twilio before, if Podium's what they use and Podium's what they want, because they've already got, you know, $3 million of revenue on that service, then you got to use that service as much as you can. Not that there's not a way out, but like that's the starting point, right? So that's kind of here. Like I wouldn't have chosen Podium. That's what the client uses. That's what we're using. But
Okay.
I would still like. I still think there's. I'd be curious to see what GPT says. Podium uses auth to. Podium uses. You can learn more about authentication. Okay, redirect URL for now. It's just going to be localhost 3000 until I figure out because I just want it to redirect to my local app as I'm developing locally, and then I'll have to eventually change that to, you know, render or whatever the public deployed app is. Write appointments, write campaign messages. So I want to be able to send messages, write messages. Ooh, write backs. I don't know what write backs is. Okay. Did that save? Looks like it saved something. Save. Redirect URL must use HTTPS. See how that works. Okay, so I have a client ID and a secret. Oh no. Ugh. Oh well. Okay. Note to self. Got to delete this when we're done here. Regenerate. Make sure you save it. You won't be able to see it again. Does not revoke existing OAuth tokens. Okay, whatever. So let's see here. I gotta come up with somewhere over here to save this off. So give me a second. Sorry, gotta do this off screen. Client secret. Is that ID? Is that? This is the glamorous part of coding. This is the real thing. Okay, I think I can bring this back over here now. Webhooks I don't really care about. Credentials. In order to make API requests, your app needs to be authorized by a Podium platform user. If you already have a Podium account, you can authenticate using a user from that organization. App authorization setup and testing. Once you have an account, you will need to go through OAuth authorization flow. Hate this stuff, man. Okay, let's create a new request. Select authorization tab, select. So I think I saw this over here, right? So they have authorization. This is the Postman API import that I did just a second ago. There we go. Okay. New request, authorization tab, OAuth 2, that's already selected. For the URL, stick in this bad boy, which is probably already there somewhere, right? Okay, they have something here, auth URL. So they have accounts.podium. That's different than API. Client ID, client secret. Enter the scopes to request access. Okay, I'm gonna pull this off screen for just a second to add in my my ID and secret here. Oh, I guess I didn't have to pull it off because it's keeping it hidden. Okay, bring this back on. And then I don't want all these, I do want write messages. Read templates, write messages. Interesting. What is, I'm thinking, are templates like messages? Write messages. I'm gonna go ahead and do those two just for funsies here. Save, leave those here, state hold, I don't know. Let's go back to here. Request access. Get new access token. Well, client ID and redirect URL do not match. Cancel authentication. callback URL. The callback URL cannot be modified. Ooh, let's copy that. Let's come back over here. Save. Well, that was weird. You see that? It didn't save my app icon. Super important. Come on, you guys. Super duper important. It's not saving it. I bet it has to be like a PNG or something. Okay. Let's try this again. So I've updated the redirect URL to fit Postman here, which makes me think, is this like, do I got to do one app per like one app for Postman, one app for staging, one app for production? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Me neither. Get access token. Okay. Oh, it's got my picture. Okay. All right. App would like to do all this stuff. Grant access. Your call is authenticated. Dude, Postman's gotten legit over the years.
Yeah.
Just like 2 years ago, this whole OAuth flow we'd have to do by hand. We'd have like 2 or 3 different API requests set up to do it. A window should be directing you to Postman app. If nothing happens, make sure your browser allows pop-ups. Pop-up. Go. Open. Authentication complete. 2, 1. Oh. Token details. Okay. Use token. What happens if I click use token? Token added. Huh. Dang. I'm getting nervous. This is like too much power too quickly. Oh, okay. So it inserted the token right here. Current token name, bearer prefix, whatever. Oh, snap. Okay, so then I do not want to send a message as the first test here, but I did get templates, right? I got one of the scopes is to get templates. So where would that be? Campaigns, appointments, contacts, conversations, feedback, messenger, payments, reviews, webhook, event types. Huh, I don't even know what templates would have been under. What does it want me to do next? App dev program demo, grant access, make your first API request. Retrieve all locations for a given organization. Locations. I don't even see locations in here. Accounts, locations, list all locations. Ooh, settings? No, that's something else. Okay. Limit 10, search fields. Sure. Locations, limit 10. Send. Okay, ID token not included. So, is that because I didn't do this? So I had done this under Messenger. So right now this Messenger is the only one that I've done the authorization on. I'm wondering. Oh, and it's not going to have the scopes anyways. I mean, I expect to see a scoping error here, but I mean, I do kind of want to test that. So if I just drop a token in, this token is only available to you. Yeah, sure, bud. Just do it. Do it anyway. I'm going to save this. I'm going to send it. Token ID is not included. Save that. Close everything else. Need to clean up my tabs here. List all locations. Authorization. Inherit from parent. Location. Authorization. It is not inheriting from parent. So, I mean, they should have just done one auth type for this whole thing. They have it like scoped down to different collections. You know how like you know how Postman does that?
Yeah, I haven't used it in a while, but yeah, the folder is the collection, or I guess the top level podium is that's your collection, right?
Yeah, this is the top level collection. And then these are all subfolders, right? But like you can do a different auth scheme at each subfolder. So like
Okay.
the very top level parent doesn't even have an auth type setup. But then you go one level down to accounts. Accounts does have an auth type setup. You go a third level down to location, and location did have its own. It had its own OAuth 2 type setup, and I just said screw that, inherit it from the parent, so it should now inherit it from the accounts parent folder.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if it will. And I don't expect this to work. I just expect to see something about a scope issue. ID token has invalid signature. Hold on, let me view the. Okay.
Yeah, I've been using Clerk a lot. Have you used Clerk?
I have not. You like it?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to work with.
Okay.
And I think they just added billing and subscriptions.
Okay. Accounts location. Okay, I think I got the right. Okay, cool. So I had the wrong token entered in here. But this is what I expected to get. So it says forbidden right now because I don't have the location scope set up. I guess we should test this really quick. So if I come back here and say read locations, just because I want to be able to test this. Basic info. Come back over here. I will have to. Oh, I see. Read locations. Oh, interesting. This is very secure. I mean, I like this. I'm like, it's very inconvenient for me as a developer, which is why I'm kind of resisting this. But this is, I guess, the right way to do this. So, read locations, read organizations, read users, scope. Actually, I wonder if. Okay, sorry. I gotta pull this off screen again. Because I'm wondering if I can do. Okay, I can. So this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do, ladies and germs. So I'm gonna go. Okay, I can pull this back on for a second. So right now, when this came down from when I imported this, everything's populated with a lot of dummy data. So like right now, if I show the secret, it just says client secret from dev portal, right? But I can set this to be a variable.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say podium. Let's see here. This would be client secret. We're going to do that. Client ID. We're going to say client ID. Stick that in here for accounts. I could also do this with scopes too, I think, but I'm not going to do that yet. Then I'm actually going to create a new environment here, I think. And I'm going to call this podium. I'm actually not sure if this is the test or production environment. So podium client secret podium client ID default, it's a secret. So I'm going to set those to be secrets. So I can worry a little less about that. So over here, podium, client ID, client secret. All variables. Why is it? It's pulling it from. Oh, because it doesn't have a current value. That's why. If I said X is a current value. There we go. Now it's blue. So it knows there should be something there. Okay. So now I'm going to. Oh, sweet. Looks like I can do this on screen. So pop in my secret there. Pop in my ID here.
Does it allow you to import an env file?
No. I don't see it right away here. Okay, so now if I do this again, so at the bottom, you can get a new access token. So this is for accounts, which includes location. So I'm going to do this. It sees my app here. Failed to load the image again. Cool. Good job. Podium. Authenticated. Always allow pop-ups. Done. Of course, it's not going to actually work. Hold on. Do it again. Should work this time. Pop-up. Always allow. Open. Authenticated. Proceed. Use the token. So that pops it into here. Save that. Go back down to list all locations. Send. Boom, baby. In-town plumbing. Townsend Drive, Rockwall. Okay. So seems like that OAuth flow is going to work well. Yes, I want to send a message, but I do not want to send a message until I know I have like a safe place to send it to. Send it to my personal phone number or something. Not sure how that works yet. And maybe this is a good time to ask ChatGPT if it knows anything about this. So I'm trying to send a test message via Podium, via the Podium app. I have OAuth 2.0 access, but how do I send a test message to my own phone number? Simon's always laughing at my terrible prompting skills. I'm just like, man, it should I should be able to talk like a human to it. That's what I want, you know? I'm living in the world that I want. I don't want to have to like over-engineer my words if I can help it.
You got to get whisper flow, or at least use the Mac voice to the transcription.
Yeah, that might be. Well, I can do the thing right here, right? Dictate.
Yeah, I guess you could do that too.
Shoot, here we go. You guys ready? You boys and girls ready?
It might mess up your audio settings, but
I have no idea.
we'll
Let's
see.
try it. Use your microphone. Allow. Hello? I'm asking a question. Can you hear me? ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Yeah, I think it doesn't like... Can I change my input? I don't know if I even have any input audio set up. Output, sound settings. Output, input. Can I do this one? Test. Hello?
See, there's a Mac. Mac has a
Hello?
default one. Let's see, what is it? Control.
Dictate. Let's try this again.
Mic.
Hello? 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 Hold on, let me just refresh this. I feel like I might have to go allow it or something, because Mac gets all crazy with the use voice mode. Hello? Can you hear me? ChatGPT, can you hear me?
Skynet's infinite knowledge indicates that Jadine is a lovely name. Is there something specific about it you're curious about, or are we just celebrating the name today?
What? Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think the audience could hear it either. Yeah, it's not working. All right. Fail. ChatGPT fails.
I'm gonna drop you my
breakdown.
My referral link. This
Your referral link to what?
Whisperflow.
Oh, Whisperflow. Okay.
Definitely worth it, in my opinion. But
create yourself as a contact if not already. Oh, you see? Okay. So, when we do this in our app is going to have to create these folks as contacts and or look them up. That's going to be a pain in the butt. But good to know. Then we start a conversation, indeed. And then we send messages to that conversation ID. Actually, we did a little app with Sales IQ. Again, you got to use what the client is using. So, Joe Tinker, the 1+1 technology guy, I did a small project for him back in January, February. Again, he was using Sales IQ. He was using Zoho and all the Zoho ecosystem. That's where all of his business already was. So he's like, build me an app on top of that. So I didn't get to choose, the nice, easy technologies like Twilio. I had to use Sales IQ. They had a very similar architecture where they would create the contact, create a conversation. You get an ID for that conversation, and then you can send multiple messages to it. Script to automate this and stuff. Well, the biggest thing. So I'm kind of curious if I can do this in Podium, right? I can go in here in contacts because I just want to test it. And I guess I should be careful here because I don't want to expose people's personal data. Let's see. I can add a contact here. I can message everyone. Oh, it's not good. Too much power to give a developer. Okay, I'm going to add a contact. I'm going to give it my name, Dan Villa. My phone number, which is fake, not real, of course. Wink, wink. Status, new qualifying estimate, payment sent, no status. Tags, Yelp. I'm gonna give it a test tag. Create new contact. Okay, so Dan is created here. I'm trying to get a view that I can show real quick. Can I not I can't maximize the window here, so I can't just see me without seeing a lot of other things. Okay, is this gonna work? Maybe you can see that. So I just created me in the system. I have a phone number. I can send a text message to me. Subject line recommended. Test. Email or use a template. I do not want to send an email. I want to send a text. Save and close. Yeah, come in. Okay, hold on. I got to look at this a little more. Come in. I said come in. What's up, little buddy? Where's the what? The tablet? I don't know. Do you have a mother out there? Go ask. Mom's going to Costco,
Yeah,
and maybe you can watch a show.
yeah.
Okay, is Katara or Riker out there?
Tyler and Ned is out there, and I just
Okay,
asked two of them.
yeah, go ask them. If they don't know where it's at, I don't know where it's at. All right, I'm on a work meeting. I'm on a stream, so I got to get back to work here. Okay. All right. Call, request payment, internal note, send estimate, select status. I don't know. I'm trying to send a message, but every time I send a message, it's like email Dan via or use a template. And I don't want to do that. I just want to. Why? Why? How do I send a text message via the UI? I only see the option to email.
Do they have documentation you can add to Cursor through the adding docs? Because Cursor will take all that documentation and maybe there's a way you can create a script to send the requests through the terminal.
So, kind of. So, I mean, as far as documentation goes, they have the API, right? So I dropped in the entire Postman collection API here. So I do have that from an API point of view. And I don't know about like guides though, right? Because a written guide, like over here, like what I'm looking at right now, developer tools, guides, getting started, versioning. What is this? Edit, suggest edits. What is this? Temp developer. What is that? Is this on GitHub maybe? Maybe they have a GitHub that I could go grab markdown files from.
Oh, API reference page for detailed explanations. Oh,
Yeah, this is just docs.podium.com.
so if you add that link to your cursor settings, I wonder if it's gonna, if it could take in all that information and use that as a resource.
Yeah, I might be able to. They have all this stuff here. Oh, 2 years ago. Oh boy. I don't know about that. The last update was 2 years ago. That's a little concerning. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I think we'll get there. I mean, I think for now, I just want to I want to know how to safely do this from the UI. It's a lot easier to stay safe when I'm clicking through the UI and like adding myself as a contact, texting myself, and then I can start to read that information through, let's say, Postman, and then test some sample messages through Postman. Once I kind of, so like doing it in the UI, doing it in Postman, then I can move to code because then I'll feel better about everything there. And I did ask for like this test organization, which would be even better, but I don't have access to that yet that I know of. I did just get an email here. Welcome, you are now part of Test Account 1's Podium account with access to tools that will help you create seamless experiences. Oh, okay. Well, select the business to use with Podium. What am I on here? Set up business details. Do I got to do this? Laptop Podium setup business details. Hold up.
Let me know if you need me to look up anything on the side here.
Okay, thanks. How do I go? Dude, where was I when I set up the get started? log into your developer account, go to dashboard. Oh boy, I just closed a page on accident. Let's go back. Developerpodium.com. Log in. Jeez, it's gonna make me log in every time here. Not a fan of this. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, dashboard. So developer podium dashboard edit. Is this dashboard? Developerpodium.com/dashboard. Save. Okay, so I have a test account. Number of locations, 1 location. To access your test account, do the following. Log out of your Podium account by clicking here. Log into your test account by clicking here. Wait, really? This is weird. Does this seem like a normal flow? What am I doing? Log out. Log in. Next. I don't have a password. Is it the same password? Be like, no, it's a different password. Well, what do you want me to do, man? So how do I use the test account? I guess I should read the documentation. Creating a test account. Test their apps with a live Podium account and experience Podium's UX as a user would see it, all in a safe lockdown environment. Creating a developer account. To create a test account, do that. Test account, you'll be asked for your name, how many locations. Click create. After creating your account, welcome email will be sent in the alias of the email address associated with your developer account. Yep, I see that. You can follow the instructions in this email to set your password and log into the test account. It didn't say anything about setting up a password, but it did take me to this business here. So I'm going to say in town plumbing test. Oh, wait. Select your industry. Home services, plumbing, HVAC plumbing. Continue. 2 to 4. Sure. What's your revenue? Tons. What's your average transaction? 10 million. Protect your account. 2-factor. I'll do it later. Oops, there's an issue with your phone number. Test location A. Interesting. Location ID. Save that just in case I need it. I'm starting to think I didn't actually need this because I mean, I guess now I can do what I was trying to do before. To access your test account, do the following. Well, see, now I'm kind of curious about application name, resources. Huh. Resend welcome email, delete. I was thinking about how do I get this app to work with this test account, but I'm guessing that will become clear later. Okay. Let's see if we can just use this one like we were doing a second ago. So create a new, oh, there's a message. Contact Dan via phone. Definitely won me over. Tags test. This is what I did before off screen. Create. Contact created. And then I think I can do a new message here. Send to Dan via phone or email. Phone. No default phone number found for this location. There's an issue with your Podium phone number. Let us know and we'll get it fixed for you. Missing contacts in your email. Not now. Okay, so I got to finish setting up the test account. I don't need that anymore. What is this? This is getting started. Test accounts. You can follow the instructions, set your password. Once your password is set, you may log in with your email, alias, and password. Okay, that's what I just, or is it this? No, email, alias, and password. So the email alias should be this, the big long email that they gave me before. So question is, it should be this password. Incorrect. Okay, I think it's still, it's possibly still setting up the test account, maybe, or where'd it go? Contact us to get it fixed. Maybe I gotta contact them. Say, hey, I'm trying to set up my test account here. I don't want to do that right now. I'll have to look into that later. Notification purpose and sign.
What's the error?
App.podium. Oh, that was a developer account. Well, so the error says there's an issue with your Podium phone number. Let us know and we'll get it fixed. And right here, like, there's no default phone number found for this location. So I don't know. I mean, there's like a couple of, I mean, I can go to settings maybe. Hello? Where's Riker? User subscription.
Numbers.
Numbers, add hosted SMS for location A, continue. Confirm your address. Let's do this one. Enter business phone number you want to enable for texting through Podium or Vodafone. Yeah, okay. I don't know that I want to do that just yet. Because if I do that, I might base it off of their real phone number. But I think I'm just going to go back to, was I doing this on the other page over here? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is try to pull up the same flow here where I'm about to text this person. Because I can do that in my other Daniel via, okay, here I am. Text Dan via, use a template. Test. This is a test. Okay, so I sent a text message here. All right, well, that came through. And I have this phone number now. So it's right here. You can see comes from this phone number. This is a test.
Oh, nice.
So that works. So that's how we're going to do these test messages. And then I can close this conversation. Actually, you know what? Should I text back? Let's text back. What do you want to say? Thank you.
Help.
Thank you for testing me. Also, help. And we should, I still can't figure out, again, I'm trying to be very careful with like what I'm sharing and stuff. But here we go. Just took a screenshot here. Gonna make it bigger so I can see that on my other on the web app there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And going to resolve that before helping the person, of course. And then going to come back to all conversations. Going to come back to home. Get out of there. All right, so I got to figure out how to maybe use this test. This test location. I do have the phone number here now. I'm kind of wondering if, where are we at? We did more, settings, numbers, add a number, location, continue, sure, whatever, next. So this is the number they're already using. Confirm your business number. Enter a business phone number you want, eligible. Nah, I don't want to screw up their production number here. That might be not good. Okay, so we can use my number. I am a contact in their system, and I might have to look up some of those details in a little bit. If we go to our instructions here, create yourself as a contact. So this stuff was already done via the UI. We're just signed into the location. We did contact here. And then we started a conversation with the contact ID. So one question I would have, we're going to have to update our scopes a couple of times, right? Because ideally, I'd be able to look up a contact. Let me see if I can pull my ID just from phone number, location, all locations, send estimate activity details. I was trying to find my ID from the Podium website here. Like if I'm over here, so like check this out. Go to network. Let's say, oh boy, what just happened? You logged me out? No, didn't log me out. I agree. Welcome to Podium. Whoa, weird. Now it wants a password. Okay, let me go make sure. I'm using the right password here. Password changed successfully. Dude, whatever, man. Now, great. Stand by. Let's go back over here. Let's make sure we're grabbing proper password, which would be this one. Right? Is it developer test account, something, something. And then why is my password thing not doing it? Dude, it's so hot in here right now. So y'all thought we were coding today. This is the life of the coder, though. Not actually coding. It's terrible. Okay. So if I got all these GraphQL calls for data. Of course, I don't know what it's actually. Magic.podium.com GraphQL. It's kind of fun. Okay. List events by groups. Location. Find contact. Here we go. ID maybe? Maybe that's my ID. There's an ID and then a UID ID. Type name. Okay. Copy object. Okay, so I got this big object here. Ooh, it's really big. Profile So there's one or two IDs possibly. We got the UID here. And then we also got this ID. Actually, I just want to copy these values maybe. So this is ID. I'm just writing these down separately. Copy value. That's the UID. Oh, they're the same. I couldn't tell, but those are the same IDs actually. So that's got to be the right one. So what I want to do now is not here yet. I'm going to go back to Postman. And again, we'll probably, let's go back to our town app OAuth scope selected. So I'm going to say contacts read. Eventually we're going to do contacts write. Read feedback, read messages, organizations. I'm just going to give it all the read permissions, almost all the read permissions. Read reviews. I don't want to write templates. I want to read templates. Read users. Read reviews, reporting, products. Read feedback. Read campaigns. Okay, it can write messages right now. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and save. And then we will have to actually thinking that yeah, because these are all like different, right? So like if I copy this, is this actually the value that I want? Looks like it is actually. Copy. Yeah, okay, that copy actually works. So I think I'm going to pull this up to the top level. So authorization, OAuth, down here, enter a token name. So I'm going to kill that, go to accounts, token name. So they don't have a token name here. Grant type is authorization code. Callback URL is going to be that. Authorize using browser. Is that what they did? Authorize using browser. Accounts.podium. Auth URL. Oh, they have a different auth URL? That don't make no sense, man. Token URL. Is that what's up? No, it's always accounts. Okay. Sorry, I was just authorizing token. Okay. So let's go back to here. So auth URL is authorized. Token URL is token. Client ID should be from our client ID there. Client secret. Client secret. And then we got these scopes. So I'm going to copy a lot of scopes in here. So I want the accounts stuff. We'll go ahead and grab the location stuff, which comes from accounts, so I don't need that. What was the other one I did? Messenger. So I'll grab these ones. Read, write templates and whatnot. Paste you into there. And then what were we about to do? Contacts? Read and write contacts. That sounds good. Is that what I want to do? Because I have my ID. I want to just read my user. And then I do want to create a conversation. And I'm guessing test accounts, API reference. conversations, conversation. What's your scopes? Doesn't say anything about scopes here. But I'm guessing what are you going to have scopes? Required scope. Write campaign messages. Oh, the conversation object. That's why. Read messages. Update a conversation. Create a note for a given conversation. The conversation object closed. Create a message for a given campaign. You know, actually, this is maybe a time where workflows, conversation, get a conversation lead ID. Huh. Maybe this is where we'd actually, since I have all these API details in Cursor, I could go maybe ask Cursor how to create this stuff. Just a second, I need to turn the fan on. It's getting hot. Because this shows a conversations endpoint here, but dude, I don't think there's actually one here. Can I say slash conversations? Base hero conversations. Method get, status okay. Update a conversation. Create a note for a given conversation. Update a conversation. Get a conversation. Get a contact for the conversation. I don't know. I'm like not sure if it's gonna let us create a conversation. Jeez. Get a contact with the conversation. Yeah, that matches what I just saw here. I don't know. Doesn't seem right. I think we got to do some research to see how we can start a conversation here, because I'm not seeing it offhand. I mean, I'll prompt AI in a second, but it's not a good sign that I don't even see it on their main documents as an option. Which, you know, depends on how you look at life,
Right.
because I won't be disappointed if I can't use Podium to code. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, I thought I saw a tab that said conversations. I don't know. Maybe you already went through that.
Yeah, there is one in here. Sync. Sorry. So there's a tab that says conversations, conversation. But under this, like, you know, they have gets and puts, and they even have post. Write back lead. Like, I don't know what this is exactly. Write back lead to the connected CRM. Conversation note object. So there, I don't see a way in all of these documents here. I don't see a way to create a brand new conversation. Maybe it's there. We'll have to test it out. But I don't know that it is. Okay, but if there is something, we went down this path because I was looking for what scope we needed to add. And in this case, it looks like everything around conversations is using read and write messages, which is what we already have. So I've selected these 11 scopes, and it looks like I've already saved it. So I guess that's cool. 11 scopes. Okay, so let's go back to our postman here. Read locations, read organizations. Read users, read templates, write write messages, read contacts. Do I not have read messages in here? Getting lost in the sauce there. Okay. Go back here. State is hold, I guess. I don't understand all this, to be honest. I'm just kind of copying what they're doing here. Send client credentials in the body. Send client credentials in the body. Advanced. No advanced stuff. Refresh token URL is not filled in. Everything else is not there. Enter token name. Don't really care about that. Looks like request headers. Okay, let's try this. So if I request access, it pops over here. Create a Podium account. Connect your Podium account. Sign in. That didn't look right. What did I do wrong? Is this going to happen if I come down here too? No, it knows. Cancel. Okay, what did I miss here? OAuth 2, request headers. I mean, this will get filled out eventually. I mean, I could copy this probably and paste it here, but that should get filled out after we, current token, available tokens versus token name. Bearer, auto refresh the token. Enter a token name. So authorization code, callback URL. Oh, authorize using browser. Okay. That's probably why. Okay, let's try this again. Browser, good, asking for everything, grant, redirect, closes in 3, 2, 1, use the token, token refreshed. Okay, so now at the very topmost, so I did this at the collection level. So now if I go down to contacts, let's say, right, because I want to list all contacts or create a contact or whatever. Retrieve contact. Let's see if I can retrieve my unique contact. Here, I just want to inherit auth from the parent. Here, I want to do the same thing. Good. Create list all contacts. I do not want to list all contacts. I want to retrieve a contact. Contacts. Oh, just by email? Well, I don't know about that. Does that seem right to you? That don't seem right to me. contact. Retrieve a contact. Contacts identifier. Really? Let me see. Identifier. Identifier. So in the payload that I got back that I saved earlier, the identifier is the email. So I guess it's doing some things based on unique email. So like my business email, dan@jemini.io. Look at that. It worked. Worked on the first try. Hot dog. Interesting. I would not have expected email.
Does it work with phone number too?
I'm guessing it does. Let's pop in this little phone number here. Yeah. Yeah, it worked with phone number too. So we do have Messenger here. Channel. Type email. This is interesting. I mean, I guess I'll try this here. Okay, so we know this works based on identifier here. So I'm super curious. If I go over here, Messenger, I want to change this to inherit auth from parent. I'm going to save that, close that, retrieve contacts, close that. So collection does the auth. We retrieved the contact. We have all this information there. Let's send a message. We're going to leave that the same. Identifier is who? I guess we need the phone number, yeah. What do you think? Gonna have to have the phone number?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, what would the type be? So if I come in here and say, so a funny thing here, watch this. If I drop this whole file, what type should I use if I want to send a text message on Messages API to a phone number? Your conversation is too long. So when the files are gigantic like this, right? I mean, this is 8,000 lines of a JSON file. It's just like, nope, won't do it. So that's where I gotta say something like messages, and then I can say something like add to chat. I can say look at the surrounding code. Look at the surrounding API details of the snippet I gave you. Continue, revert, continue with her. Submitting from a previous message or revert file changes. Yeah, I didn't do any changes. So now it's reading it. It's like doing it a separate way, doing some grepping, trying to figure it out. Nice, and now it did it. Channel type should be SMS. Okay. Location UID. Last location UID. Location UIDs. Okay, I have it from the previous oh boy, not that. Holy cow. The response I found off the browser, I had grabbed it. So if I copy that here, paste it in right there, that should be the thing, contact name. Do I need contact name? Like, really? Message. Send a message. I do not need contact name. So I'm going to remove that. I don't need sender name. So I'm going to remove that. Subject I don't need. I'll leave that in there though. All right. Shall we try it?
Let's do it.
It's my number. Send. Oh, invalid request values. Type. Oh, it got the type wrong. Okay, well, luckily I have it right here. Channel, type, email, or phone. Ha!
Ah.
You know, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Simone. This has happened to me several times now. Actually, I saw a great meme the other day where it had the like what Agile used to be, and it was like, you know, you build a skateboard and then a scooter and then a bike and then a car, and then it said basically what software development now is with AI. And the first picture is like this massively overly complicated car. It's like a souped up monster truck car. And then it gets a little smaller into like a speedster car with a booster on the back. And then it gets smaller into like an SUV. And then it becomes finally the regular sedan car that the client actually wanted, right? I think that meme is so perfect, whoever came up with that, because while I've been doing this, you may have been asking, like, why isn't he using AI more? And it's because I know that if I was to go use AI and try to just go write a bunch of code, AI was probably going to get a bunch of little details wrong, little nuances like, what is the type? AI is like, the type is SMS. I gave you the freaking JSON file. I have the entire definition right here. And somehow it got it wrong, right? And in the end, you know, it's sort of the question of like, what's more difficult? Is it more difficult for me to go debug somebody's code and try to reverse engineer that? Or is it more difficult for me to just go do the hard work of crawling through the documentation on the website, reading it with my own eyeballs, understanding how these objects are laid out, so that when I bring AI into my workflow, I can clearly tell AI, hey, here's where this answer is, here's where that answer is, go stitch them together. Because then I know with like a high degree of certainty that it's going to get a lot closer to the right answer. So that's why, even though, like I've used very little AI in all this investigation we've been doing for, the past like 45 minutes or something. And it's only after I'm like understanding how these things are coming together that I can go start using AI to pull it together. I'm not saying that's the right workflow. I'm just saying that's what I've noticed work really well for me so far. And I'll give you one more. Does that make sense so far though? Just as far as my choice goes?
Yeah, makes sense.
And I'll give you another little example after I write down this timestamp. Because, oh, you know what? I don't have it on my... yeah, you know what? Let me show you something. I do want to save this. I hate spaces in my files though, because I'm weird. Podium API v4. Okay. Chore, save, Podium, docs. Okay, I'm gonna go check out this other branch I was working on earlier. Text integration. Look at this. So, Simon, you and I have been kind of talking about spec-driven design and what I want to be able to do. So, I had this issue earlier today, and this is all like, this is pushed, right? GPS up. So you can go find this branch out there now because I just pushed it. You can go find this on the repository on the Gemini-io GitHub. But this is Cucumber. This is behavior-driven development. They use this Gherkin syntax to call out scenarios and to write what, in my opinion, are requirements. And you can even see that I started down this texting road earlier. I was like, hey, I want to send notifications to the customer. And I have some stuff in here. I'm actually going to skip this because what I want to show you is a different feature I was working on, which is, let me see. Yeah, this one here. So super high level, I have this constraint, this requirement in my system that says, for this virtual consultation service we're doing. In fact, do I have the? I don't know if my app is still running. It is. We've got 3 services, but there's only 2 types. So help me with a repair and help emergency. Those are both service skills. Like the technician who's going to take that job has the skill of servicing customers. They know how to fix everything, right? Mm. I need a quote is a different skill. That doesn't go to a technician who like the implementer, right? Like the developer. That's going to go to the salesperson. That's going to go to somebody who's qualified to give a sales quote on a job, right? Sure. Two different types. So you have 2 different skills. And this concept of skills being associated with technicians and jobs, because the job says, I require this skill in order to be completed as a job. The technician says, I have this skill, and then you match them together. That concept was not in our code base. This is real life. This is like, okay. This is how it works, right? This is how development works. You're constantly introducing new requirements into an existing system. So what I wanted to do is I actually had AI write all of these feature files. I said, go look at my code base, write up a bunch of feature files that describe what my code's doing. So it wrote a bunch of the existing feature files. I did not read them to validate if they were good or not. But then I said, here's a new requirement. When I'm viewing the available dates, I should see the calendar with availability dates. The date should be in the past. Dates in the past should be disabled. Dates with no availability should be disabled. So it's going through some of these requirements, right? I should be able to scroll through the calendar. So kind of like UI-focused requirements here. And then I tried to add this one, and I should only see technicians with the required skills for the required service. And I fought with how this language should look, right? How should I write this? Do I need to write this as like one big long scenario? How specific do I get? Do I need to say, hey, there's 2 skills. There's a service skill and a quote skill, doing all this stuff. And I tell you, I struggled with this for like a good solid half hour. Like, how do I even write this? I was trying to prompt AI. It was just too big. It was too broad. When AI would start to go write some things, one of the issues I ran into is like, I didn't even know how the data was laid out in the system. So if I don't know how the data is laid out with these skills, how am I gonna tell AI at this level what it should do? I don't even know. Yeah. And to make matters worse, actually, we have all these API definitions, but in these API definitions, the data I was looking for was not available. So then I came to find out. So again, once I went through this long effort of digging into the APIs and saying, where are these skills definitions in the API, I realized that they were not even available. They weren't in the API. So I had to go write a service request to ServiceTitan and say, hey, I'm trying to do a GET request and just get a list of all the available skills back from your API. I don't see it there. And sure enough, half an hour later, they came back and said, yeah, we don't offer that through the API. Sorry. Here's a suggested workaround. So after struggling with the requirements for 30 minutes to an hour, I realized that it wouldn't have even mattered anyways because my approach was wrong, right? Like I couldn't implement it the way that I thought. Now I do have a flip side example though. So this is an example of where this didn't go well. And I think part of the problem was just that the requirements writing was like way too broad, and I didn't have a good handle on what exactly I want the system to do. Because I think this is part of the code that needs to be cracked as far as, you know, spec-driven development, is there has to be some really clear, really obvious way for us to write out all of this business logic. And it's and even with something I'm very familiar with this Gherkin syntax and the given when thens and everything that you see here, like this is still difficult for me because I was like, well, where does it go and how do I write it and what should be a scenario? How much detail do I go into? And in my head, there's a lot of like, you know, there's like how many, like there's so many layers of abstraction to code. There's like the requirements up top. There's like the API calls down below. It's like, at what level am I writing these requirements? But so this didn't really work out. I kind of abandoned this. But then I did something else. If I go back to, so I killed all those feature files, come back to, where was it? So don't get me wrong, anybody who's watching this, that's the gold. If we can figure that out, if we can figure out something like Cucumber or something like it, where we can just write out what a system should do in requirements like that, and all the details are taken care of, like that is the freaking, I do believe that's where we're headed. It's just a matter of time. But I do think there's a lot missing between now and then. And part of it's tooling, but I think part of it is like standards, for lack of a better word. It's like JSON was a tool, okay? Open API is a standard. So a lot of the tools are in place, but I don't think we have a standard way. And I think we're getting there with like MCP and some of this kind of stuff. But I actually think there's a lot more to be done as far as creating standards, workflows, right? Very, very predictable things, which, you know, AI is not predictable. So, okay, sorry. I got to find it. API. This is the one. So this is what works super well. Okay. I then became very familiar with the ServiceTitan APIs. They have them laid out a certain way. They actually give you a bunch of different files. There's not like one master file. They give you a different schema file per categorical endpoint. Let me see if I can give an example of this real quick. Okay, so I'll close this. Developer.servicetitan.io, ServiceTitan, what did I say? ServiceTitan.io. They have like these top level categories of their API. Okay, accounting, CRM, dispatch, whatever. So you go into job planning and management, which is the main one that we use. And job planning and management, they have a single whole YAML file that describes job planning and management, JPM. Now, under job planning and management, they organize things by tag, right? So I've got exports, appointments, job cancel reasons, jobs, job types, projects, project statuses. So I'm reading through all this. I'm understanding, okay, this is how they're laying things out. They have a logical order to how they define their API. You've got the top level, you've got that organized by tags on the inside, and then you've got all of their individual API calls. And I have a vision of how I want this laid out in my code for maximum clarity. So for maximum clarity, I want one folder that says ServiceTitan API. Under that folder, I want another folder, job planning management, which maps to like their like top level category. And then under that, I want individual like tags, right? So job types. And if we go back here, job types is a tag right here, and it's got 4 API calls underneath it. You tracking with all that?
Yep.
And 2 or 3 times, I was trying to prompt the AI agent, and I was trying to say, hey, like, just go implement I forget which one. I think I needed to do something simple like job types ID. I think it was this one API call right here. Very simple. The code, there was already an API call in my code base. So I was trying to be like, hey, number one, refactor, extract this function that's buried in a big file somewhere. But when you're extracting it, I want you to conform perfectly to the API. I want you to write the type files, and I want you to lay it out in my project, given my like folder pattern, my design that I like, that makes sense to me, right?
You gave it examples?
Well, so I prompted it 2 or 3 times, and it wasn't really working. It always missed something. It would like do like 60% of it or 75% of it, but then it wouldn't really work, and I'd have to like go back and redo it. And I'm like, dude, I know I'm going to do this like 100 times. Because I know that I'm going to go do a bunch of different API calls. So what I did is I wrote a README file. And in the README file, it lives right here. So under ServiceTitan API, there's a README file, and I should probably rename this file. But it says, this is the ServiceTitan SDK. All files in this folder should only provide strongly typed methods to call the ServiceTitan API. Instructions for the SDK. Each service API doc is found under Resources ServiceTitan. Example that. Each doc should have a corresponding folder. Here's an example of that, etc. You can see the rest there. Once I did this, then I would basically, all I had to do is I would go to the API I was looking for. I think it was in dispatch or something. I went to dispatch. I highlighted the API I wanted implemented. I said, implement this API, follow the instructions in this README. Boom, it worked like near perfect. And that's when I was like, okay, we might not be at like the behavior-driven design scenario level yet with AI, but if we can start doing stuff like this, where you have these READMEs, and you think about it, it's like we should have been doing this anyways, right? As good developers, we should be documenting our code, and we should be documenting standards. Back to my standards point. So like this, to me, this is the low-hanging fruit, right? This is something that everybody can do today. They can go in and start creating READMEs around their folder structures, their architectures, right? And then instead of giving AI like the whole world, like instead of giving AI like this cucumber file that says, given I have I have a technician and a service and somebody booking that service and blah, 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 like, 15 steps that like span the entire system. Instead of trying to get AI to do that, it's kind of the same thing as like the AI with multiple tools, right? Or multiple AIs. It's like now you've got all these like specialized README files that know about their little domain. And then you as the engineer, your job is to basically say, go pay attention to this section of the code and this section of the code and put it together in this way. And I think that's where you get like really high accuracy, right? When the AI writes that code, it's going to be like 90% accurate. And then your job is a lot less, right? So I don't know, that this to me was like the real success case right here.
Yeah, you touched on a good point. Like scoping it down, providing clear requirements. This is almost the direction that I think we were talking about with Claude Code, with the prompts or commands that it can take in, and then you tell it to read in, or you prime it with certain files to read as context first.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, especially if, I think that's what I'm thinking, or that's what I'm realizing, at least for my workflow here, is that I do have to take the time to like write this README. I have to take the time to understand, how are these APIs laid out? How do I want them laid out in my code? What's my patterns? In fact, one of the things I did here, each file should export a single class service that is modeled after job types. So we actually have a specific way, for instance, that we are loading the base URL, because based on an environment variable, you're either pointing to the integration environment, like the staging environment, or the production environment. So this is kind of like a specific way that we had set up our environment variables and how we load these things. So by having an example service that's kind of setting the standard, and even just the details of like export class, blah, you know, async, whatever, like even just like all the little nuances here of, because, you know, there's like 3 different ways to export things in a JavaScript file. So having this as a standard and putting that into the I guess feeding it as context to the AI, or like you said, priming the AI with that. Like, here's how you should write your code. Here's how we write code in this, at least within this folder, subfolder area of our repository. That just get like the code consistency goes way up too, right? So I think there's just like a lot of things that like you have to put the time in. And like
Yep.
This is what I realized once I put the time into like creating these standards, creating the first file, understanding some of the architecture, then the AI can run a lot faster with that stuff.
Yeah. Was it good planning is good prompting, or good prompting is good planning?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, bringing us full circle back, you know, I tried to ask AI the quick question of what type, and it got it wrong, right? So it's like, all right, that's why, even though it didn't feel like we were engineering for the past 2 hours, reading through documentation, like that is still like I as the human am building the context and then understanding how to communicate that to AI so we can go build this for me. Bringing us all the way back to here, where I was trying to send myself a text message. Should we try it?
Yeah.
Should we try it? Let's see here. I don't know. Theoretically, it's going to come under the same phone number here. Bad request. Contact opted out. I didn't opt out of nothing. Location ID. We talking about it opted out, man. We talking about. Okay, let's go. I need to like close all of that. Well, I'm not gonna close it, I guess. I need to go look at. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Not here. Developer portal contacts. Okay, this is in the production system, so I got to pull this up in a separate screen here. Let's sign out of this thing. Sign out. I think it's this one and this one. So I was able to send it through the UI earlier. We saw that. So actually it's not an issue that the contact is opted out. This is not real. Contact is opted out. What this means is that I must be calling the wrong URL, wrong location ID. Yes, I'm seeing location ID is not correct. Hold on. Okay, so I just, again, I want to be careful what I show here. How do I just go to like a neutral? Can I just go to like a neutral dashboard or something? This is kind of neutral. Okay. So in the URL, I see location UID is CE blah 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 2A at the end. So I'm going to copy that and drop it in for this location UID here. Save that. Try again. Location not found. What? Hold up. Podium. Dang can't be right. Well, I got locations earlier. Let's go look at locations. Location, list all locations. We did this. Headers, params, body. Okay, can I just, let's see here. Location should inherit from parent. Accounts should inherit from parent. It's not. It's inherit from parent. List all locations. This should work. Test location A. Oh, look at that. So Viod. So I guess the application, back to my dashboard here. Oh, why? Why do you have to sign in every single turn? Like I'm not jazzed. I guess it's using my test location though, because it says test location A, location UID, etc. So like I guess that's cool that it's doing the test location. Did I set up the auth the wrong way? I'm like, did I tell it to go? Like, how does it know? How does this app know which location to go to? Okay, sorry. Let me grab this. And where's my password? Back to here. Service temporarily unavailable. You gotta be kidding me. I think I screwed something up. Can I like do a log out here? Podium developer portal. Well, looks like we're hosed. Looks like it's time to play Minecraft. Let me go back. I did get an email. Welcome, you're now part of test account something. Get started. What is this gonna do? Takes me here. I don't think they have digital drive. Sign out. Auth podium. Server unavailable. Docs.podium. Oh, that's just docs. You don't have to sign in. If you go to docs.podium.com, it doesn't ask you to sign in, correct?
Let me try. Docs.podium. Nope. So it's not letting you, or I guess the test account or the sandbox is not working.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like their developer portal. And I almost feel like there's a credential clash that's happening right now. Let's try to do it through a sniffer thing. What do you call this? Incognito. Service temporarily unavailable. I can log out here. The dashboard. That's interesting. Guides, marketplace. These are all just different. Try this one more time. If this doesn't work, maybe we can play around with writing some stub code. I mean, we don't know. We know it's possible through the UI. We don't know for sure if it's even possible with the API calls here. My test location, we do know that my app is apparently using the test location now. Which if I list all contacts, is this still going to be true here? Yeah, so like the contacts, the locations, everything is going through the parent auth. Send a message. Wait, did I have two of these? Oh, right, because it was the previous. So list all locations gives me a UID of 1001 that ends in 5001 that ends in 50. So this is the right location. Contact opted out because this is in the test environment. Okay, this gives me another idea. There's no way. That's not going to work, actually. Well, what I was going to try is... if I go to app.podium.com and sign into the test location... I don't have a Podium phone number here. Maybe I'll ask real quick. Once I've set up a Podium test location, I can't send messages yet because I get the error. Is there a way I can fix that to send test messages to myself? You can't fix that on your own. Podium requires a verified phone number for... Contact Podium support. Tell them you're testing and need a number activated. Yeah, well, I would use the real number if your system wasn't stankin'. So I'm actually thinking that's part of what the issue is here, because oh, look at that. Those are my messages. Beginning of text message conversation. So it tried to do it. I can see that in the UI. These are both the messages that I had sent, I'm guessing. Just a reminder. Send. Bad request. Just a reminder. Look at that. Ooh, nice. Okay. Okay, well, now I'm curious. Conversations. Conversations. Inherit. Okay, yep, good. Save, close. List conversations. Don't do a limit, don't do a cursor. Location, UID. Do I need that? I probably need that. So it created a conversation, but it's automatically closing it also. But I've sent 3 messages. Closed, true.
Is there a logs? Is there a way to access logs?
Settings, integrations, automations, reporting. Calls, reviews, inbox. Probably not in the UI here. Oops. Contacts. Bulk messages. Well, I'm going to try one more thing here because according to ChatGPT, we can try to just post 2 conversations. It's probably not going to work at all. So, like, instead of, well, here, let's just, well, yeah. Update a conversation. Let's duplicate. Let's rename this to create conversation. We will try a post. We don't want a query parameter, but apparently I can add a body, contact. So actually I'm looking at this here because it has channel identifier. V4 conversations. Body. Assigned user ID closed false. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, there's no way this is right. No root matched with those values. .404 v4 conversations base URL v4 conversations. Yeah, there's no conversations endpoint like that. So just to confirm, delete. Well, I think we might have to stop there for today because we could go write code for it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't really want to do that until I really know this is gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the only way we're going to be able to validate this is through the main location anyways, not the test location. And I can't get into my developer portal because some genius somewhere screwed something up. And crashed the server. Hey, it's working. Ha 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 ha. Well, my unlucky crew, we're going to keep going. Don't use Postman. Ask Cursor to write curl requests. Well, why? Y-ummer. A-amer. What? Curl? Curl? Don't get me wrong. I love curl. I've used curl a lot. Isn't that a lot more difficult to maintain? I mean, if I'm assuming, well, I'm not going to lead the witness there. Why curl? Tell me how curl is going to be easier than Postman. What's up, Tensel? Tensel H. What are we doing, Simon? Okay, so we have this app. So the app right now.
You're not sharing your screen anymore.
Oh, I think I think the browser stopped working. Entire screen share. And stop
okay.
annotating and unpin. There we go. I think you're back. Okay, so finally let me in here, but why is this app? I don't see any way to configure this app for different locations, different accounts. To access your test account, do that. Delete, resend, welcome. I can create a new test account. I don't know. Should I do a new app and see what happens here? I feel like, excuse me, I feel like something has to be wrong in my configurations. Authorize token. Because like appointments here. Your application.com registered. Close all these. Oh, no, that's, let me see your authorization code. Well, now it's not authenticated using browser. Oh, is that why? Was I logged into the test account? Maybe that's why, Simon. When I went through this flow last time, maybe I was logged into the test account, so when I granted permissions, maybe it was on the test account. So let's sign out of our test account. Let's go back to our main account. Rerun the auth. Yeah. This has to be it.
I didn't realize you were working between two accounts.
Yeah, I don't know if I realized that either. Don't leave me hanging, Amer. Okay, so logged into like the production account there. So now let's go back and get new access token. I'm assuming this is looking at the production account now. Gonna grant access. Complete, proceed. Use that token. Token added, close. Now let us go back to retrieve a contact because we were retrieving me prior. This should still work. Locations. Let's go look at locations. List all locations. So previously there was only one location listed, and it was the test one. Now I have the in-town plumbing one. And here's the UID here. Okay. I got a feeling. I got a good feeling about this. Location ID. Update that to be the proper location ID. Save that phone. This is my number. Appointment reminder. Hold your breath. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Items, body. Okay, and then there is a conversation here. And if I pop over here, yes. Yes, I think I'm gonna like it here. Yes. Okay. So,
That's why I joined the stream.
So, all right. So that went through. Sweat. And I now have this conversation here. Okay. And also, I feel like I just want to save everything. Boom. Come over to my notepad. Save a big fat block of response here. I know I could save responses. Oh. Okay, whatever. I don't know what's going on there. I gotta be careful here because I don't want to show too much prod data, but I'm gonna go to all conversations. Closed. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, that worked. I can see it in my thing over here that I can't really show you guys, but I can maybe show it like this. So we had a previous conversation, but in production right now, this is in fact showing that just a reminder was sent, but this is on what they're considering a closed conversation. The conversation is not open. Does that matter? Not really, actually. I'm realizing that for all my app is going to be doing, if we come back, if we close this screenshot, close. If we come back to the flow here, I don't necessarily care that if the conversation's open or not. The only thing that matters right now is that I'm able to use the same number, 469-936-4227. My brain is slow. Yes, good. So I'm texting on that number from that number, so they can text back for questions or to reschedule a call. And when I do that, it will open a new conversation because that's what we did earlier, actually. Earlier, I texted back, said, thank you for texting me. Also help. In fact, there's not an open conversation right now. So test from developer Dan. Does this open a conversation? Go back to open. Yes, it does. Again, you guys can't see it, but in my view over here, in fact, let me just, well, okay, yeah. I'll just show this real quick. So boom, test from developer Dan. This is a open conversation here.
Okay.
So that's super sick, actually. And then I can, got it, send and close. Got it, send and close, should show up right here. Got it. Sweet. Okay, that is a lovely little workflow.
You can send a GIF. A GIF.
Oh man. I can send emojis. I can attach an image or file. So I could attach a GIF or a GIF.
Okay.
I don't know if they have a way to do that programmatically. That would be fun. Send a message. They probably don't. Location ID. Subject. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Import. Send message with attachment. Ooh. Data object. Contact name. The attachment content, which could be a file. Yeah, well, I could probably send GIFs. Sweet. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the stream here. So actually, yeah, I think this will work, man. I think this is a good stopping place regardless. So I think the way this is going to work, maybe we'll just stick some sticky notes right here. as far as our purposes go, like, oh, well, we're going to have to create lookup contact by phone. Let's just do everything by phone because they're going to give us the phone anyways if we're going to text to them, and that seemed to work just fine. So contacts, we're going to have to retrieve the contact potentially if it's not there. So look up contact by phone, create if not exists with the information that we have, then send message with details, and we can update this because I don't need this. For questions or to reschedule, comma, call or text this number. You are confirmed. So this is going to be retrieve contact. It's going to look something like this. Bada boom. This is how real software gets done. Sticky notes and hyperlinks. Create if doesn't exist. So I will have to create the contact in this case. They got some examples in here. Not too worried about that. Whoa. Oh, just being weird. And then sending the message, which is this one. Paste URL messages, successful message there. So wait. I think the most important thing here is that if I know what these URLs are, then I can tell AI where to look for that stuff. So I can go into this JSON, this big fat JSON schema file, which doesn't even fit in the context. And I can tell it basically what to look for. Look for this API definition, write the code, do the types. So I think it'll be much quicker once I actually have to go write the code for this. But that will be a later day to integrate Podium. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I think if maybe next time we could try, well, I guess we could talk offline, but I think having that AI workflow and getting the model set up correctly, where you're giving it that input and adding the constraints, any constraints, that might be a faster way of implementing it.
If we
I
can
still
get...
think you're.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking. I think you might be underutilizing AI, but I can see the reason for not using it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get me set up, I think. But my challenge back to you on that is that if you can, put your sales hat on, right? And actually, if you're in any kind of leadership position as an engineer, you kind of are a salesman, right? You have a new idea of something that you want adopted by your team or by your organization. You got to be able to sell it. You got to be able to show it. You got to be able to sell it. So I think for me, a lot of that happens with the easy low-hanging fruit stuff, right? It's like, even though you think that this person can be lifting 300 pounds, you got to start them with the easy win of hey, look how easy 100 pounds is or whatever, right? And then, if you use this new technique, you can lift 20 pounds heavier, right? So you kind of got to lead people in that journey. This is I'm just thinking of general advice for anybody who's watching. But so for you, if you're introducing AI tools into your organization or into your team, you got to show them hey, add in this one file, use this one prompt, see how it improves your workflow, right? Do that for a day, come back and we'll do the next thing. So if you can get me set up on something in under 30 minutes of just some real low hanging, hey, use this prompt, use this template, or refactor your code this certain way that sets it up better for AI, then we'll just kind of take the baby steps toward that, and we can kind of incrementally add in some of those optimizations until we get to the full thing that you're thinking of.
Yeah. Step number 1, install Claude Code.
Yeah.
Take that as your first action.
I got to pay for it, though.
Well, I mean, you value your time, because I think it's worth it
Yeah.
for, that is like it'll take care of some low hanging fruit. And then I don't think it's just one thing that you can do, but as you move forward and as we learn how to use these tools better, I think experimenting with it and trying what's currently being used, I think might be a good approach, because it's only going to it's not going to know what you want. You have to provide it some requirements.
Yeah.
And, in my experience, I've found that it does an okay job if you give it enough requirements and constraints, but it doesn't do like design
Right.
for you. So, but yeah, maybe somebody can comment on the best approach, but I think it's just finding a workflow that works for you. I'm sure there's multiple ways of doing it. With the whole case of writing the test, was it the behavior driven stuff? If it doesn't know the data structure, like the schema, that could be a problem.
Yeah, and I do think, I need to check out Claude Code. Like, I'm not trying to say, I'm not being a naysayer. I think there's always the balance of sharpening your axe and actually chopping the tree. And I think that balance is even more important now with all the new AI tools coming out every day. I mean, you're just going to spend all day testing out the new tools versus actually building something and making progress. And so I think for me, that's usually a balance of like, hey, I'm going to try something new for an hour a day, but then the other like 6 to 7 hours a day that I'm working, like I just have to produce code. I just have to produce features. And that's kind of what we're seeing with the app that I'm building now. It's like a client's actually paying me to do this. So
Right.
I can't sit around like training all day on their thing. All that to say, that's why I've been taking baby steps in this direction, at least with this project. There is another project that I might start working on that's right around the corner. That's also only a couple hours a week though. But they use Claude Code, and apparently they have some like shared configuration files that they're doing. So I might be forced to use Claude Code anyways for that project. So that's something that might accelerate me in that direction. All that to say, it kind of depends on what my day looks like tomorrow, to be honest with you, because maybe I'll go look at that even. We got that guy. Yeah, maybe what I'll do, what's next on my list? Podium. See, I got my roadmap right here. So this week I was supposed to have whereby stood up basic text notifications. That's what we're working on with some of the Podium stuff, is the text notifications. Manual payments and reminders. Wednesday. Yeah, see, I'm getting short on time with the deadlines. So I think what we'll do is tomorrow morning, I'll probably still focus on just cranking out features for the Podium integration for texting, and then also the whereby recording and transcript stuff. That's just another API service for like video chat that, again, I had already set that up in N8N. If you can believe that or not, it was kind of automating some of that, but I need to roll that into the code. What I'm thinking though, Simon, is I'll work on that stuff in the morning, and depending on how much progress I make, maybe I'll do that all on a branch. So I'll do like my current workflow on a branch in the morning by myself. When we get together on the stream, if I can make enough progress in the morning, then I'll get Claude Code installed in the afternoon and basically go through the same process with Claude Code and just see like how much of a difference that makes. That might be a fun test.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. And I could maybe, if you're open to it, I could help you develop a workflow that uses Claude Code and maybe some of the command stuff. You know, I think of it as like sharpening the saw. It's not going to be super fast and produce the results that you want right away, but I think if you practice with it and embrace it, it would be helpful.
Yeah, just give me the baby steps. I think that's all. Like I don't think it's going to be difficult. And again, I'm just thinking about like anybody teaching anybody how to do anything. Like if it's like, hey, we're going to go 0 to 60 in like an hour or something, then that can be overwhelming. But if it's like, hey, let's install this one module, let's test this one module. You know, once you're comfortable with that, let's move to the next one, right? Or we add in this one optimization. Once we're comfortable with that, move to the next one. So that way, like we can kind of go at the pace that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
we're also like, where did it go? We're actually writing this code and testing it, right? It's not all theory, but it's like one thing to practice, see it work, you know, go back and do it again. Sounds cool though. I'm hoping I can get enough done tomorrow morning to make that happen in the afternoon. Well,
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Simon.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's on right now, but thanks to everybody who is on for a minute and said hi. And catch y'all later.
See y'all.
I need like